Massachusetts, where the keeper of the light sounds the fog bell to signal that it is indeed time for football inside Gillette Stadium. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New England Patriots. The kicker, Will Reichard, has the ball on the tee.
And we are underway in Foxborough.
Oh, he shifts past him. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Throwing here is May. That'll be swung out wide here for Henderson.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And this one is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So on 4th down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. Back deep for the Vikings, Miles Price. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. So here come the Vikings with a long field ahead of them. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
So this is what we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Here's a 2nd and 5. They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Taking it about the 16. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, let's see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A carry by Henderson to start the drive. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. May.
Hunter Henry brings it in.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
There's the former Vikings, Stephon Diggs.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
He'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll throw with May.
Over the middle, complete. That's Douglas. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
They tried to catch him by surprise there on 3rd down, but this defense, they were all over the jet sweep.
And it's oftentimes all about what you're doing on the backside of the defense, whether it's the defensive end or the outside backer, who's setting the edge. And if they don't get blown off the line of scrimmage, they can really wreck a play. And in this case, they were able to make the tackle for a loss as a result.
So when you factor in the safety, this now a 5-point swing.
And look, I'm not going to turn away a 5-point swing because 5 points, that's valuable. Don't get me wrong on this. But if they could have taken that safety and added 7 to it, now you're talking about a really big swing.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they'll be looking to correct course here. They had the safety turned in against them last time they had the ball. That was followed by the field goal. So they'll operate from behind now as they start 1st and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw McCarthy. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Off the bootleg, here's McCarthy. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now McCarthy. Now he'll tuck this and run.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The linebacker, Robert Spillane, making a big play.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. That is caught. Down the right sideline.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Justin Jefferson.
53 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. A try here for the extra point. And the lead is now 2. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
Oh, good move. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
So the Patriots coming out now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Looking to put a drive together. Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be 1st, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
May going to give it to Henderson.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it. and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
To the air, May. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On first down, it's Henderson.
And he stopped immediately there. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
To throw, it's May.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Here's May. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown.
Trevion Henderson.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Patriots have retaken the lead. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 5. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a New England touchdown.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
And now out comes Minnesota.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing is McCarthy.
Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. Just a gain of a couple there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
3rd and 5. To the air with McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Here's McCarthy. Now he's going to
and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Operating from the gun, McCarthy.
Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it.
23 yards on the tuck and run.
The sack on first down took him out of a traditional running play and put him in a passing situation. But didn't stop him from running anyway, did it?
No, I was surprised when he took off. I thought, oh, he's got some space. He might pick up 5, 6, 7 yards. He goes all the way and picks up the first. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Back to throw here.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
And they go play action with May.
He finds Douglas complete. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
He was able to get away initially on that play, but ultimately not much space to roam.
Great job there by them containing him, because you mentioned he got away initially, and how many times does that end up with a guy taking off for 15 or 20 yards? Here, the support was there, and they made the tackle for a loss.
The tight end Henry here in motion. 2nd and 11.
That pass complete. Here's Butte with it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down. This is Henderson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Hunter Henry, 49 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Borregales now for the extra point.
And that makes it a 9-point game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's finished off by a Pats touchdown.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Robert Spillane able to bring him down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Open man is Jalen Naylor.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40.
Fighting to the ball carrier there was Carlton Davis, and he finishes that play off.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
McCarthy operating from the gun. That's down the field for Jefferson.
That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 50 yards.
He's already got 1 touchdown this first half already. That very nearly was a second. Defensively, they're going to have to figure something out because he's been able to outrun the defenders early and often so far.
On play action, now McCarthy. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
And down here, first and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on second and goal?
He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson.
Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a third and goal.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, third and goal. Back to throw again.
They'll try and do this.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
J.J. McCarthy.
A 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Vikings are back within a score.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns third and goal into a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to 2. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Looking to put a drive together.
They'll run with Henderson here to begin the drive. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
From the gun, it's May.
It's complete to Diggs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
2nd and 6.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Short pass caught by Henry. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
They'll throw with May. That is caught by Douglas.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Looking to throw. May.
Complete. It's Henry. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing here is May.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
Jonathan Allen, the former 1st-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on third down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
And this one is right through. And that will push the lead up to 5.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. There's a glimpse of Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, as he and the Minnesota Vikings return back here on offense.
Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Looking to put a drive together.
And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. On the RPO, he'll keep. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Marcus Jones picks it.
Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
New England's offense set to go. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll run it. This is Ramondre Stevenson.
Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. He couldn't get the edge there. It wasn't sealed, so maybe not all on the guy running the football all the time on those tosses and the pitches that go to the outside.
No, not at all. I would agree with that totally, because sometimes the defensive guys, they win the edge battle. And when they do that, there's no place for the running back to go, and especially for offensive linemen trying to get out ahead. With their footwork and speed, it was negligible on that play. No gain at all for the offense.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
On 4th down, out comes Andres Borregales for the Patriot field goal.
On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Vikings offense and Justin Jefferson set to take over once more. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
McCarthy off the play fake.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
He'll try to pick it up himself.
Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
They'll run. This is Jordan Mason.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's 3rd and a few inches. Now McCarthy. That is caught. He's going to pick up the first down and then some.
And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Middle of the field to Jefferson.
Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Throwing is McCarthy.
Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. Touchdown!
Aaron Jones
from 3 yards out.
And the Vikings are back within a couple of the lead.
These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. Extra point attempt to follow here. And this is now a 1-point game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Patriots offense and Drake May headed back onto the field. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing. And they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
To throw, it's May.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
2nd and 10. To the air, May.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And the slot man goes in motion left.
From the shotgun, May with it.
He finds his man, complete. That's Douglas. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here's Bryce Behringer now.
And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a 1-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Addison hauls it in.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. Here's McCarthy. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield.
The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10.
To the air with McCarthy. That's to the left side where he's got Naylor.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack.
So a tight one so far, 1-point game at the break as we check in with Scott Hansen at our halftime report. Scott.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome into the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you on an abridged halftime report. Good competitive first half. This game kind of has a punch-counterpunch feel to it, as reflected on the scoreboard. Tight game going into the second half. Can either team pull away? To find out, let's go back to the stadium and our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half.
It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
55 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
That's caught downfield by Addison.
And all the way down to the 9. A big play there for Minnesota. 43 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Back to throw. McCarthy. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is indeed good, and they have regained the lead. Now, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
A solid stiff arm. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2.
And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
They'll start on the ground with Henderson.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
From the shotgun, it's May. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards on the play. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try and go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand.
And, Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Gets this complete to Butte.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's 3rd and 3. Here's May. He's got his target. That's complete.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 22-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Out of the gun, they give to Henderson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down.
Now May on the sneak.
And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give him 2 on the play there. And the Pats are set up now with a 1st and goal.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Stephon Diggs, a 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Patriots have retaken a 3rd quarter lead. So a very strong first drive in the 2nd half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a 3rd quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But boy, they executed awfully well, moving the ball down the field.
The extra point now for Borregales.
And the lead is up to 5. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They'll start out on the ground with Jones.
And that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down and 6 now.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. 2nd and 6. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Jalen Naylor.
69 yards.
And the Vikings have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there, and they'll go for 2. McCarthy going to look to throw for it.
And he's got it. The try for 2 is successful, and it pushes the lead up to a field goal. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy, because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. New England trying to get to place on offense.
And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Looking to throw, May.
A quick hitter complete. It's Henderson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll throw with May. That pass complete. Here's Butte with it.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Throwing here is May. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 29-yard line.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Douglas.
So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2. And he's going to use his legs here.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a 1st down.
So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the 1st down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the 1st down, get a new set, and let's start over.
The tight end Henry here in motion.
Now Gibson.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard. Out of the gun, they give it to Stevenson.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
They'll run with Gibson.
He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Stevenson is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on 2nd down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
Yeah, they've thrown for 3 touchdown passes. Now here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so. But ordinarily, 2nd down is when you run your play fake, your play action, show run, and throw the ball. Now they brought up 3rd.
Touchdown, Patriots.
Ramondre Stevenson
From 3 yards out.
And the Patriots have answered back with a 3rd quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead.
Brandon, is there any way you and I can join this quarterback in the zone he's in? He's absolutely feeling it. Touchdown after touchdown, throwing the ball.
Borregales now for the extra point.
And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a New England touchdown.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Vikings offense and J.J. McCarthy getting ready to go back to work. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
On play action, McCarthy.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
K'Lavon Chaisson, the former first-rounder, in there to get the sack. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
Now he'll tuck this and run. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Now McCarthy. That is caught.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards. The offense just continues to reign supreme. Big plays, both sides, back and forth. Tough to keep track of.
It certainly is, and I'm over here just marveling at what I'm seeing. It's tough for you, though. You've got to call all these big plays and have all this emotion each time they go at each other.
So both offenses come to life here in this third quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth.
McCarthy off the play fake.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he stopped immediately there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. This defense, tough to run against, and those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This will be from 49 yards out. And his kick is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
And now out come the Patriots. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ball game now, and he's got a first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Douglas with a grab over the middle. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
2nd and 4. Completes it to Douglas. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
On play action, May. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
A give up the middle to Gibson.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
To throw, it's May.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to get the lead up to 4. And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregales to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Vikings offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy. Open man is Naylor. He's got it.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
That's to Naylor once again.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On second and goal, here's the option.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was onto it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations.
Touchdown, Vikings! T.J. Hockenson from 4 yards out. And the Vikings have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it. We've got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that drive 7 plays in length.
And it was T.J. Hockenson who finished the drive with a touchdown reception.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
And the Patriots gearing up to go now.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter.
Looking to put a drive together.
Off the play fake. Here's May.
Open man, the tight end Henry.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Good work there. You're going to see on play action, they run an out route with the receiver on the outside and let the tight end work the seam in the area beyond him. A great concept, and it leads to a first down.
Straight ahead, Gibson.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman, the ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
And they go play action now. May.
And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a first down. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
To the air, May.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Short pass caught by Henry. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a gain of 19 down to the 19, and it's a first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
On the counter, Gibson.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And now third down and 6 to go.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
Here's May.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots.
Keyshawn Butte.
A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Pats answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth-quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
The extra point now for Borregales.
And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The visitors' offense had Aaron Jones headed back onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. You just saw the speed, folks, of Marcus Jones back there in a flash to drop him.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That one complete to Naylor.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
With that last completion, CD's now over 400 yards passing in the game, and Quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation there, partner, because I agree. This is a group more than capable of torching a secondary any week, as evidenced by their combined stat line here. And in the time we have remaining, wouldn't shock me at all to see them take another deep shot. Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
To the air with McCarthy. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
He'll try to pick it up himself.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Complete to Addison on the out route.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Well, the noise got to be an issue now offensively. Here's 3rd and 6.
He's back to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 20-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
Back to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Back to throw.
That's over the middle. He finds Naylor.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
The noise is getting deafening. Here's 3rd down and 3.
He'll look to throw.
He'll try to pick it up himself.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. Wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Diggs with a good footwork.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
So the Patriots now down by a field goal, 47 seconds remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. They'll look to throw
To Henry.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Here's 2nd down and 3. Throwing here is May. Gets this to Gibson.
Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Now a tip of the cap to the man under center, Charles. He just went over 400 yards passing in this ball game. He's got the touchdown passes to boot, taking pretty good care of the ball. Just all around a really solid performance.
Yeah, just check, 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 and check, right? Because he certainly showed he was worthy of the trust that his team put in him. A handful of touchdowns to his credit thus far. Now he's just crossing off yardage milestones, and win or lose, his name has to be in serious discussion for player of the game.
Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
2nd and 6 coming up. Looking to throw, May.
And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
They'll throw with May.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Douglas.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Too far for a field goal. They've got to go. It's 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with May.
This for all the marbles. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for but couldn't secure it, and this one's over. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I'll tell you what, it has not been with a whole lot of frequency over the last couple of decades or so that teams have come into New England and escaped with a victory, but that's what happened here.
It almost doesn't feel real, does it?
We've seen it so few times.
That actually happened, right? We saw it. They came out of there with a win. And on the other side, in that locker room, you know what they're saying? We didn't really lose. Time just ran out on us. That's the attitude they have because they don't see it happen very often, not even sure how to handle it.
And you see some stunned faces heading for the exits here in New England. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.